The show has just begun. We have Vice Olumide in the studio. And of course, like you know, standing in for Emmanuel for this one, as usual, making it happen. Vice Olumide, how is your week go so far?
Good morning. Good morning, Val. Thank you once again for always being there to step in.
No trouble.
How was your Valentine's Day?
Should I be honest with you?
Okay.
I spent it alone.
You know why I'm asking? It's because your name is
Most definitely.
you spent your Valentine's
Alone. Well, that's the thing. I just said, let me enjoy myself.
Anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in once again to Relationship 360. I really appreciate you and do not take you for granted. And those listening to us for the first time, we bid you welcome. Um, how do I start this week? We have been talking about some fallacies of marriage and the rise in the spate of domestic violence in certain marriages. Domestic violence, and domestic violence. We keep warning people here in this program that if you are in an abusive marriage, you should leave. You should leave. Now, there are some things I would refresh. In 2010, Shija reported that Nigeria loses an average of 300 to 350 women every year from their husbands, former partners, boyfriends, and male relatives. And if we lose 350 people in 365 days a year, meaning every other day a woman is dying because of the choice of her husband or lover, that this figure excludes the men who are also killed by their wives, former lovers, and family members. By 2020, the number doubled. However, Nigeria has a very terrible data management system to the extent that the National Bureau of Statistics cannot give us data on lives lost to domestic violence and abuse. Nigeria relies on information from non-governmental organizations and private researchers. These figures are truly troubling. In 2021, our foundation, after research on the rising pandemic of domestic violence in Nigeria, warned that by 2025, the Christian or simple woman will more likely die from her marriage and its complications than any natural illness. Now, why the Christian woman? Because 87% of cases of domestic violence and abuse, separations, and divorces are from Christians in marriage. Most of the victims of fatalities, that is, those that have lost their lives to domestic violence, mostly are Christians, according to our data. 2025, that we warned 2021 that by 2025 this it's going to be terrible. And 2025, when it came with a banger from the second week of January, such that by the end of January, 3 people were burnt to death by their spouses who set them on fire. And by March 2025, a state of emergency was declared on domestic violence in Nigeria. In the newspapers, it was in The Guardian. We lost over 400 women in 365 days and over 40 men to their wives. And those are informations. You know that we have more unreported cases than reported cases. In fact, there was a time, I think it was in 2021, by the time we got there, they had already done the burial of she's a Muslim, so we bury her immediately. So they buried evidence, and they keep telling us, we don't want a case, or we don't want. Now we are in 2026. By the 31st of January, over 40 women had already been lost, and about 7 men to the hands of both spouses. And one thing is that these are the people you chose to love and spend the rest of your lives with. For the first time in, it will be 6 years that I have been on air, I have been announcing people who died every Saturday morning. This year, since January, I keep announcing their names to let you know, for those of you that are quick fingered, to Google and check that, listen, people are losing their lives because they choose to remain. A person beat you, like the other lady that died last year. The husband attacked with a cutlass. The first time she was taken to the hospital, she chose to go back home. About 2 months later, another thing happened, chased her with a cutlass again, and the third time he eventually killed her. How many times does it take you? How many times do you have to drink poison before you die? Do you understand? It happened the first time, it happened the second time, you did not survive the third time. So, what do we tell people? This week, I would announce another gentleman this time. This is the fourth man this year to lose his life to the hands of his wife. Just 5 days ago, on Monday, a 38-year-old Nigerian Immigration Service officer, Chidibere James, was stabbed to death by his wife in Umahia North Local Government, I think Umuzi. So what happened? He did not have enough money to cover the cost of medical treatment of their sick child. The wife was angry and then started accusing him of infidelity. That is, he's spending money on women outside. That's why he cannot take care of his children. The family and neighbors waded in as the situation was escalating from accusations, shouting to, afterwards, a physical struggle ensued, which the gentleman's phone was damaged. So, in anger, he took the wife's phone and also broke it, the same thing that just happened. And the wife now, in retaliation, picked a pair of scissors and stabbed him. She was restrained and taken outside to cool down. People were appealing to her in the neighbor's shop outside, not knowing that the husband she stabbed had collapsed and died inside the house. Wow. So they were still talking to her, petting her down, not knowing that the man she stabbed was dead. Now, this year has not even reached 60 days, and we have over 50 deaths nationally. I remember telling you that the police PPRO of Benin had to come out and say, what is going on? People are killing. Over 10 already in Benin. That was about 2 weeks ago. And different states here, we have nationally over 50 in less than 60 days. We tell you, once you are in a toxic marriage, both male and female, please leave. This year might just be your year, finally, to leave your children and your loved ones to be with your Maker if you refuse to leave. Now, last week I was talking about the fallacies of marriage, and the very definition of the word fallacy, comes from a Latin word called fallax, which means deceptive. It has evolved in English to mean a mistake that comes from too little information or unsound sources. It describes intentional deception or false conclusion coming from bad science or incomplete understanding. So, fallacies of marriage are things that people believe true, but in actual fact, they are false. Now, last week I spoke about the conspiracy of silence, which I will again emphasize on this week. Now, silence means the omission of sound, the complete absence of sound. And the word silence is all a noun and a verb. Now, as a noun, it is defined as the complete absence of sound, stillness, muteness. And as a verb, it means to prohibit or to prevent from speaking. So silence could be you choosing not to speak as a noun, and then as a verb would mean that you are being prevented from speaking. Silence is the omission of mention, comment, or concern. It is forbearance from speech. Now, the fallacy of silence is that belief that marriage means silence when you are told not to complain about abuse, violence, or hardship. When you are told every day that all of us go through it, that we're all managing ourselves. So don't think you are the only one that is going through it. We're all managing. So just keep quiet. Our mothers, our fathers, religious leaders, heads of families, Oloriabis, they tell you to be quiet, pray about it, endure, that it will pass, that everybody is going through it. So you are made to believe that silence is a contract of marriage, silence in abuse. In the Yoruba tradition, when your daughter gets married, they tell you that your room in your father's house is no longer open. As you are leaving, you are gone forever. Also in the Igbo, once your bride price is paid, in fact, some are still arguing, you can't even come back to your father's house to inherit any property that you go and inherit in your husband's house. So the issue here is marriage has now become a tomb which you are moved into through marriage. That is, marriage becomes the only tomb that you dance to enter, the only tomb that you are alive when you enter. You celebrate, you pick clothes, you kill the cow, you entertain people as you dance into the institution of marriage, where you are not allowed to speak about whatever challenges, however inhuman or gross. So, who started this tradition of silence in marriage? Who started this thing that you should remain quiet? Now, I need to explain to you a second time that the nature of the living is speech. Only the dead do not respond to stimulus. Only the dead are quiet. Why are they telling you to die while you are alive, to be silent? Uh, Only the dead will teach silence. Only the grave is the minister of silence. You are not to respond to abuse, violence, or hardship. Whatever you see, just pray about it. Some religious people would make you even feel that you are not doing enough by praying. So your coffin is the marriage that you have entered. However, the living was made to speak. The living was made to talk. The living was made to respond. You were alive before you got married, but then you got married and you became dead. And with it, have you noticed that the emissaries of death are those people who accompany you into your marriage that you look up to? They keep telling you, they didn't tell you before, but as you are married, they now tell you, hey, welcome to our house. Here, oh, this is, they now start giving you terms and conditions. After they start telling you, oh, you cannot speak. And this took me some years ago. I think I want to talk about those people that are advising us to be quiet. So it was 2017, a year before, yes, a year before 2018. An idea struck in my cerebral cortex, and I initiated that we go to old people's homes and start asking. You have grandmothers, great grandmothers, people 75, 80 in old people's homes. We don't really have much in Nigeria, but we started going around in Lagos to interview them, to ask these old people how their marriages were. Do you understand? So I broke it down. 3 out of every 5 were abused physically or emotionally in their marriages. Two out of five did not even know they were abused. They saw it as normal. Did you get that?
Mhm.
That is, they saw the beating as normal. Why? Because they were also raised seeing their parents, their mothers, or their fathers being beaten. So they were raised to see it as normal. So when they got married, they saw their own abuse too as normal.
That's dogma.
So two out of every five did not know that they were abused. So when we were talking about abuse, they were like, how can you call that abuse? Now, three out of five had to give up their career or ambition for marriage. They gave up their higher education for marriage. Then 7 out of 10 were raised in abusive homes. Because when you ask them, do they know what domestic violence was? They really didn't understand that. We had to explain that, have you been slapped before? Have you been, and they said yes now. They said, one told me, what kind of question is that? What is marriage without the slaps? So 7 out of 10 were raised in abusive homes, which is they saw their own parents, they witnessed the violence, domestic violence between their parents. So now these are the people telling us to be quiet. Do you understand? Where is our own advice coming from? From them who were victims of abuse. So inadvertently, what happened is that we are going to report an abuser to a victim, or we are going to report an abuser to another abuser. Of course, the abuser will tell you to take it, that it happens, because it is normal to them, and they are, in fact, the abusers. Now, there was no fundamental human rights then as we know it now. There were no TV stations like it is now. There were no radio stations. So they died to themselves, accepted their faith, and laid quietly in their coffins. Where would they go? Silence was their grave. So when they gave birth to us, they passed on the graveyard to us. That this is where you lay silent. That just pray. For those of them that were happily married, it was just something that was the gods have blessed you. So it became a conspiracy of silence. That is from the abusers, that you don't talk. You can't report. You are going to tell your mother, who is also being beaten by your father, and who saw her own mother being beaten, or the father, who was also the abuser, saw his own mother being abused. So who are you reporting to? A generation of abused.
Abuse.
That is those that witnessed abuse and those that were victims of abuse. So what can they tell us? And this is where the conspiracy of silence in marriage originated from victims who stayed and abusers who ruled. The victims had no choice because there was no gender unit of the Nigerian police. In fact, in the 1970s, there was a very popular case in Ebonyi State where a man was always being abused by his wife. That day, I think he had enough. So he went to the police station in Ebonyi State and reported that his wife has been abusing him, and he has come to report her before he kills her. The policemen laughed. They thought it was a joke. And they said, are you not a man? That is the problem with men in abuse. Everybody mocks them, so they remain silent. And the man stood there for a while, and they were telling him to go home. He's a man. And then 2 hours later, he came back to the station with the head of his wife. This is a true story. You can check it out.
Deed carried out.
Yes. So that time, all the policemen on duty, that the man was sacked, In fact, they faced disciplinary action because the man came to report.
To give you guys heads up.
And he was laughed at. He went back home when the wife continued, brought out a cutlass and beheaded the wife. And then brought to the station and sat down at the station. So you understand that this thing they really had no trained officer. Then, so these are the people giving us advice now, and you look at them in their age and say, oh, there is wisdom in age, but you don't know that the age of Methuselah had nothing to do with the wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom is not in age. And funny enough, these same people are the heads of marital counseling in your churches. These same people are the Olori Ebis that you go to. So what do you expect? That is how our generation is still dying to the doctrines of the past, the conspiracy of silence. I told of a story where, how many minutes do I have now?
2 minutes.
You say don't start what you can't finish. Let me start this. A woman called me at that time, and she had a daughter before she met her husband. I told you of the story where she started seeing that her daughter's breasts were kind of getting, and she was teasing her that, this, your breast, and your, after some time, she found out that her daughter was pregnant. Was sexually abused first. She didn't know she was pregnant. And found out that it was her husband. She went to her family, shouted, but everybody told her to be quiet, that let us settle this as a family matter. So she now started taking the child. If she's going to the market, she will take the child. If she's going to work, she will. And it was frustrating trying to protect the child until the child started falling sick. My time is up.
It is. It is. Let's take that break.
Let's take a pause.
This stories are quite chilling. 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is Relationship 360. You'll be hearing the voice of Pastor Olumide. And we'll be running it here till the hour of 9, right? Yes, that's 9.
Yes.
So stick with us. Don't go away. And when we come back, hopefully we'll open the phone lines. But you see, has more to give you. Let's jump into the ads and we'll pay some bills. We'll be right back. Don't go away. We have to quickly go take that one so that everybody knows that we have to quickly go take that one so everyone knows that we are still running the station here. That Pastor Olumide.
Yes.
Before we took that break,
yes,
you were giving us one.
Yes.
Gory story.
So she lost it. She flipped. Her family members, they said, let us settle it as a family matter. If where are you going to go with 3 children? Let us settle it. So she started taking the child everywhere she went, because the husband was at home. Eventually, the child was about 3 months pregnant before she knew. And you were told to be quiet. So they give us advice without experience. They give us opinions without information. And what they have done is to mislead us, to misguide us, because they say wisdom is profitable to direct. They just lived according to their whims. And you will find out that a lot of Olori Ebis then were abusive people. So you cannot leave, because if they allow you to leave, they will be telling their own wives too that, giving them a reason. So they kept you under subjugation. This is one of the reasons why women are the biggest losers. Now, let me make you understand that men are also victims of domestic violence and abuse. In fact, so many men, but we have more women as fatalities. Ladies and gentlemen, the living was made to speak. If you are in an abusive marriage, speak out. If you are in an abusive marriage, speak out. If you are in an abusive marriage, speak out. This fallacy of silence, that you watch your children being abused, that you yourself, your children are watching you being abused? Do you know that men that beat their wives are usually men that grew up watching their fathers beat their mothers? That is how abuse passes from one generation to the other, and the same thing for women. I had a case this week. I am trying to see if I can put her on the line. I would not. Is she here? Hello. How are you?
Hello. Fine, sir.
Thank
Fine,
you.
sir.
Thank you for picking up your call. We would not say your name. We will go anonymous. But quickly, what happened?
So,
Or let me start by saying, how long have you been married?
I've been married for 5 years now.
5 years. How long did you date him before you married him?
Let me say, I didn't date him that much because, according to when we met, he was an evangelist. He preached the word of God to me. So, I do see him as a straightforward person, and I do see him like somebody that knows God.
He was an evangelist.
Yes, he was an evangelist in a church where he do preach the word of God to me.
Okay.
So that was how I met him, and that was how I get to know him.
I married him without really getting to dating him. Without dating him. Okay.
Yes,
so when did problems start? How was the marriage anyway?
When we got married, it didn't even take long for me to notice his character. He started beating me, even with pregnancy. When I was pregnant for my first daughter, he started beating me. Started all sort of things. Very hot tempered somebody. Doesn't even listen to words. He beats me anytime he wants. Just I don't.
So now we can say that whether someone is preaching by the word or it doesn't affect his character. Their character is the same, whether they are evangelists or not. So when did our own problem that got me involved? Was it last week that you called me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How did it start?
It started by, I think lockdown was last year.
2025.
Yes, when my daughter was in school. I went to pick up my daughter from school. Then the class teacher of my daughter called me. But I don't know what is happening, but I trusted him. I didn't leave my daughters with him. So the class teacher of my daughter called me and was like, "Madam, there is something I would like to tell you. If I didn't tell you this, it will not be good. I will be a mother like you because she hasn't given birth. She still say I will still be a mother like you. So there's something I will need to tell you. If I didn't tell you, it's not good."
Okay, go ahead.
And she said, "Why changing my daughter's diaper? That she saw something white is coming out of her vagina like sperm. That I should, first of all, ask me how many people is listening with me." I said, only me and my husband with my daughter. He said I should know what is happening, that something is happening to my daughter. I was like, no.
How old was your daughter then?
She was 3. Yes.
Last year she was 3.
Yes.
When you were told. Okay, so what happened after?
So after then I called the mother of my husband. Then I told her that look at what the class teacher told me. The class teacher told me that why changing the baby's diaper, that she saw something white is coming out of the baby's vagina. So I want to take her for a test. She was like, no.
You wanted to take her to the hospital?
Yes.
For a test?
To do a test. So she was like, no, don't. Wait. When I come to Lagos, and one day I will come, then let me ask my son. That was what she told me. I said, okay. Then I kept quiet. I didn't say anything. Yes. About the
About that
me
one
going to
last
the
year.
yes, about me going to the hospital.
But it seems, were you already pregnant for this second one?
Yes, I was pregnant for the second one.
Okay. So what now happened in this second one?
Then when I gave birth to the second baby, then the mother came
Omugo.
for Mogo. Then when the mother came for Mogo, then we were like, the mother came and I kept on asking the mother, please, this thing I told you, please, ask your son, ask your son, ask your son. Then she gathered the courage one day, then we asked the son. You know how hot temper he became very violent. He beat me. He said, why will I tell the mother something like this? Why will I do this to the mother? Then after everything, he came to the mother like, mother, why will you come to my house to be asking me such a question? I'm the owner of the house. I can do anything I want to do. It's my house. Blah, blah, blah. I was saying all sorts of things. Then carry the mother load, threw it outside. Then after everything, we were like, people came and asking us what's the problem. People now came and settled the matter between me and the man.
But he threw his own mother out of the house.
Yes, he threw the mother out of the house. That
Okay.
Why did the mother come and ask him something like that? That is his house. He can do anything he wants to do. That the children is his own children.
Okay.
And anything he wants to do with them.
Okay. So now, what brought you to call me?
The matter that brought me to call you is that when he started it with him 4 months old again. Then the same thing he was doing to the sister. He wanted to do it to the 4 years old. For the 4 months old baby that I just gave birth to. Then he kept on repeating something like the children will die, I will give birth to another one. That's all sort of thing like somebody that is saying something like mutual purpose or something like that. I don't know.
Okay. So how did you find out that he was doing to this 4-month-old?
The 4 months old, right? Even the 3 years old was like telling the grandmother, because that time the baby could not. The grandmother was the one beating the baby, preparing her for school. So while beating the 4 years old, then the baby was like, grandma, my daddy is licking my teeth. My daddy is doing this to me. My daddy is doing that to me. The baby was like telling the grandmother all the things that his daddy was doing to her.
Okay.
Then when he started with the 4 months old, I said no, I cannot get it. Even I know that I don't have anything doing and I don't have any way to go, that I will speak up. That was how I went and reported. That was how the matter got to you.
Okay. So you don't really have anywhere to go, right?
No, I don't have anywhere. That was why I kept quiet the initial time he was doing that to because if I look at it, I was like, where will I go to? I don't have anybody. I'm an orphan. Nobody to run to.
Okay.
Nobody to talk to.
Okay.
That was the reason why I was like keeping quiet. My mother-in-law would call me so that she would use her hand and ask me stop. See if he would stop doing what he was doing. But no.
Okay.
He didn't stop.
Okay. Thank you very much for sharing. I really appreciate it. And we're on the matter. By God's grace, your children will get justice.
Thank you very much, sir. It's justice I want for my children.
Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you very much.
Wait first. How did you get my number?
Your number is when I went for, because I went and entered I was like crying. God help me. So somebody there was like, there is a man that will help you with this case. Then he gave me your number and I should call you that you will help me. The matter like that you help me. That was how I got your number.
Okay, so how much have you paid?
No, I have not paid anything.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So the matter has not ended. But when I'm telling you stories and giving statistics, you think
that... Suddenly allow me to breathe in air first.
Last week I saw you putting your head down. this week you are breathing in. This
That
is
is.
what happened.
It's,
And the first thing you would see here is that she was told to be quiet. So she endured until she gave birth to another daughter. And then it started again with the baby. Now, how did she find out? This man, her husband, has a daughter from another woman who stays with them. That one walked in on the husband on a 4-month-old child. So the matter, the matter, it is. See, it is very rampant. It is not only the man. I told you of it. Okay, you were not here. Where I mentioned the case in Nigeria, me fellow you that we got there, that a mother had been sexually assaulting her own son. She started with him, her own biological son. She started with him when he was 15, going to be 16. And by the time we got there, he was already 20, and they had 2 children together.
I can't imagine
She said,
mental,
it is my son, na me born now my breast suck. That is what that kind of emotional, and this is what goes on. In the family, and family members know, and they keep quiet. So what happens when a child grows up to know that her first sexual experience was with her own father, or a child grows up knowing that her first sexual experience was with her uncle, was with the neighbor, that she was raped, and that is why you find that almost 39% to 40% of women in failed marriages were raped as children.
Children come out and turn out to be used in society. You don't understand why.
So, hold on. I'm going to come back to this. She said she has nowhere to go because she did not have anything. So, this happened on the island around Lekki, and then we had the case transferred to.
I feel for that lady that called, because I just I know she's listening. I just lost a few minutes.
I can wait and see.
It's just.
Don't calm down, please. I need that anger. So we took it to the gender unit in Keja, headed by the Assistant Commissioner of Police, Oluwatoyin Kamsi. That is, I will tell you, I've been doing this for 25 years. She is the best officer and highest ranking officer of the gender unit. When you are talking about, please, you need to give her a round of applause. Ever since I have been doing it, this is the best when you talk about gender-related matters, cases of domestic violence and abuse, child sexual abuse. She is a blessing to this state. I have no other thing to say. We took this matter there, ladies and gentlemen. I say you haven't heard anything. On Monday, the matter was charged to court, and in court, first of all, we had an issue with DPP. It's a case of rape, child sexual abuse. Rape of a child is called defilement. And they were told to reduce the charge to sexual assault. We went to Mirabel Center. Mirabel Center confirmed that this 4-year-old had been penetrated. So even with medical evidence, we are being told to reduce it to sexual assault. The AC, that is the Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of gender in Ikeja, refused and said the charges will remain what we have because they came with proof. And then they came, family members came and tried to disorient the children because the children are the principal witnesses. The 13-year-old, who is the man's biological daughter, walked in and she said it. She came outside and said Daddy was in the room licking on the 4-year-old. So she wrote her statement and she said she wants to leave the house and go to her biological mother. Now, they now tried to disorient us while we were there. It was at Court 11, Samibori Court. And this was where I got angry because the man was released immediately on bail. Now, to go back to the same house where the wife had just reported him. So we had to make contingencies. They cannot go back to the same house because more or less he would kill all witnesses. now had to make contingencies. I had to place a call to the Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency, who now came in, took them, placed them in the shelter. They were there for 6 months, and then after 6 months, they get a house for them. I want to really applaud Madam Titi Lola Bible of the Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency and all, what they do. What would I have done? I have 3 children and a mother who cannot go back, and this is where the judiciary comes in. How would you, when there is rape of a minor and they are living in the same house, you cannot release. You say, well, it is bailable, waiting for DPP advice. It is not, because it is an offense that carries life imprisonment. You don't release them like that on the same day.
Right.
The man was released in less than 2 hours on bail of 1 million naira.
To go back to the same home.
So the woman was there. Definitely she can't go back home. We have to make alternative arrangements. I will come to that.
Like you said,
now,
go back to the line.
Okay, now when the people were saying, no, he did not do it, maybe it was this, I now get a call some days after. I'm going to play this to you very briefly. And the call was from this same husband's younger sister. I want you to listen.
Wow.
Listen to this.
Yeah, it's not deceiving you, sir. I'm telling you the reality here.
You are telling me that this same Kingsley,
I swear to God, this guy is the one that is raising me. Yes, as a child.
how we come again? How old were you?
I was 7 years then. Then I was 7 years.
Were you living? Are you living in the same area?
The same house is my brother. Is my brother. They are living as family. Our brother is the same.
Did you hear that? His own younger sister has now come to testify that he also raped her as a child when she was 7. She had told the mother then. So the mother knew that her son raped his own sister. Now, years later, because you did not do anything, the man grows to start raping his own children. And the same mother is there coming now. He's angry. He kicks out the mother who had already known that the son is. Now, I want to show you the consequences of this silence that our family members do. Now, this man had 3 known victims related by blood. Let us not talk about those that are outside. Ladies and gentlemen, this fallacy of silence that they keep telling you to be quiet until lives are destroyed, until people die. Do you know how many people? Now, look at this. Let me
In 3 minutes.
On Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, 25th, 26th, and 27th of February, we have an awareness campaign in Ikorodu. The first, on the 25th, is going to be at Ikorodu Garage, where we would assemble at the High Court and march down. Coming along with us, we have the Nigerian Bar Association Ikorodu, the Nigerian Bar Association Ikeja. We have WARIF, that is Women at Risk Foundation, also coming with us. We have DSVA, the Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency of Lagos State, also with us. We have the Gender Unit, that is the police officers in charge of gender, also joining us in Ikeja, and also the police officers in charge of the family support units. On the order of the Commissioner of Police, I want to appreciate him for sending his top police officers in gender. We have the African Women's Lawyers Association also joining us. It's going to be a big rally. And why are we starting with Ikorodu? Because according to our records, in the past 2 years, Ikorodu in Lagos State has the highest rates of fatalities of domestic violence and child sexual abuse.
That's what Ikorodu did.
That is why we have now, if you were to look at me, can see me on our YouTube Gnosis Help Initiative page. I'm wearing the theme for that campaign is Ikorodu Edide. That is Arise Ikorodu. We can no longer keep silent when our children are being destroyed. We are watching our mothers being killed. We are watching our fathers being killed. We are watching our sisters. And one thing in particular is that everybody knows, but everybody is quiet. Why? Because, it is a family matter. It is not a family matter. It is a crime. How is it a family matter when someone loses their lives and then you bury? And then what happens? Life goes on. Remember last week, somebody, how many minutes do I have?
A minute and a half.
Somebody went on a prison visitation from their church, called in and said he saw all those that killed their wives having fellowship. I told you about a man, Pastor Arowolu, who stabbed his wife 76 times about 15 years ago.
I remember.
He said he saw him also doing praise worship.
Heading the
Yes.
praise worship.
Now, God will forgive them. Do you know that? Do you know that? The person that died on the cross next to Christ, Jesus said, today you will be with me in paradise. This was someone that was being killed because he murdered people. So it tells you there will be forgiveness. And they will get to heaven. And you just died a useless death on earth. Do you understand? All of them have now found Christ in prison. They are now in worship and praise. Meanwhile, their victims are 6 feet below.
We have to go on that quick break. Hold your thoughts, by the limited. When we come back, we'll make this happen. 99.3 Nigeria Info, don't go away. All right, welcome back to 99.3 Nigeria Info. We have to go pay some bills there. We're still kicking it through Relationship 360 by Olumide right here. Before we took that break, Bryce Olumide was telling us, giving us all the stories, which obviously really happened, and why you should be very careful, around some certain people. Yes, you might call them your husbands, or you might call them your wives, but you never know what people's intentions really are. Pastor.
That was what started as an evangelist. That's why I tell you that marriage is not about religion. You are not getting married to a religion. You are getting married to the character of your spouse. So the first thing to check is character and not religion. One thing I also told you to hold on to is the fact that most of my calls, you remember, you were not here, it was Emmanuel. I gave a disclaimer. I said, women calling me to tell me that, please, we need you, we are separated, he's not handling his responsibilities, he's not paying the bills. I said, please don't call me, because that is one of the difficult thing to sell. You understand, especially women that had jobs, but their marriage took their jobs. I always tell you, never leave your job because of marriage. So this thing had been on my mind as part of the things that we would enlighten people of on the awareness campaign in Ikorodu. Now, there are various other local government areas in Lagos that have terrible statistics of fatalities in domestic violence and abuse and child sexual abuse. But we're starting with Ikorodu. And it will start on the 25th, that is Wednesday next week, at Ikorodu Garage. We are going to start from the High Court and march down to Ikorodu Garage. And thank God that the local Ikorodu Central LCDA, the chairman, has given us permission, and even the traditional, the paramount ruler, the Ayongure, I really appreciate that we should bring the campaign there. They have given us a spot right there at Ikorodu Garage. We are going to be at that bus stop. We will march down from the High Court to Ikorodu Garage and have this campaign. Please join us, because we can't keep burying our children, losing our brothers and sisters because of the person they chose to love. Then on the 26th, that is on Thursday, we would be at Agric bus stop. We would start from Ishawu Road and march down to Agric or family bus stop in Ikorodu. That will be where we will convene. You will see our tents there. We're going to enlighten people about domestic. We are going to call it out. There you would have police officers in charge of the gender units in Lagos State, in Ikorodu, you would see them there live with you. Those of you that say, me fair or police, I don't want police matter, you will see the police officers there telling you to bring your matters. In cases of domestic violence and child sexual abuse, bring it here. Join us. The theme of this is Ikorodu Edide, and that is what we have themed it to be. On Friday, it will be Wednesday, 25th, 26th, 27th. Friday, 27th, we will be at Odogunyo bus stop. Yes, we are going to start at, what's the name of this supermarket? Is it Jabal? What's the name? I think I would remember shortly. I think it's Jabal supermarket. It's just by Odogunyo bus stop. We will start there, we'll convene there and march down to Odogunyo bus stop. I want to appreciate the Yalodjas and the ballets. We met with all the Yalodjas, and the marketplace is where we will be. Telling people, enlightening them about domestic violence and abuse, child sexual abuse. And please, for those that might want to support us, it's a huge thing, but for humanity there is nothing huge. If God could give up his only begotten son to die for humanity, then what are we? I wonder, there is a particular thing that I was highlighting that the women always tell us. Oh yeah, I'm coming there in a second. The women, more often than none, always tell us the reason they return to their abusive marriage is because they have nowhere. They have nothing because they did not work. Some who started working were stopped from working. Those who also were not able to acquire anything. We know people who bought land but went to put Mr. and Mrs. and at the end of the day they lost it. So I have been in talks, and I thank God for Brit Properties, if BRIT, and we have been in talks, especially for these women who, for women who have nothing. They would give land for you to buy and spread the payment for 1 to 2 years at affordable and confirmed lands. I have gone through. Their CEO is a fantastic gentleman who supported our outreach, when we were in negotiations, and they are working on a package. Every woman should have land in your name or in the name of your children, so that you will stop this. You have nothing to fall back on. We get into marriage hoping for the best. But the realities of marriage is that you might have made a mistake in your spousal choice because of wrong counsel and not knowing how to choose a spouse. That has been the problem. Also for men, I would leave men. Men, they are better. They can go back to their father's house. But women, look at this woman now that I put on. Had nowhere to go with 2 children, 4-month-old, 4 years old, and the stepdaughter also followed her because nobody can stay in the house. The gentleman had abused someone that sexually assaulted his own sister at 7. So I appreciate Brit Properties for their sponsorship and also for now building a program for women. Listen, I was even more amazed when I saw that they already had something for children. I think young landlords or something. I think they had something in the terms of 30,000 for 1 or 2 years, and your son would be the bona fide owner of 200 square meters, which is half a plot. So these are securities that you should not take for granted. I saw one of their packages for children, and the entire package was 1.3 million naira for 200 square feet. Of course, I had verified everything they sell is verifiable at Alausa, from the lands with their surveys, the C of O, the deeds of it. Everything is there. And these are people that have been in business for almost 17 years. Women, I won't send you to where I don't know. You must have property. I'm sure that they will come out with something. They would also be on site with us at Ikorodu. They have lands also in Ikorodu. They have lands on the island. They will be there. So I'm encouraging women. Don't say, I don't. If it's 20,000, 10,000, you must have something to fall back on because we are tired of this. They usually live with nothing, have nothing.
Making them more vulnerable.
Making them more vulnerable. Do you know that it was 2024 where we had lost about 40 people? 19 of the 40 people had left, but came back because they had nowhere to go, and eventually lost their lives in the process.
There we go.
Women, you must have somewhere to go. You must have a property, land, somewhere.
Fallback plan.
Fallback plan. And you know, if you can do a job, then you can be paying 20, 30 monthly or whatever. You will work it. Bridge Properties have said they would work out a plan for you. They will be on site with us in Ikorodu. Enough of this conspiracy of silence. Enough of this fallacy of silence that you must keep quiet and keep destroying your life and those of your children. You have to be alive to take care of your children. Because once you die, another person is going to come. Do you understand? Do you know where they will distribute your children? You remember us in Achi's case, I was involved. Who will take 4 children in this economy and add to your own? So they have to separate them. Please, ladies and gentlemen, I think enough. Please join us Wednesday at Ikorodu Garage Bus Stop. We will start at the Ikorodu High Court by 10 a.m. We will be gathered by 9 a.m., but the march will start latest 10 a.m. We would march down from the High Court to Ikorodu Garage. On the 26th, we are going to be at Agric. We will start from Ishawo Road to Agric Bus Stop. And on the 27th, we will be at Odogunyo Bus Stop. Will be, I think is it Jalin or Japan, Jador supermarket. It's there. Yes, we will start from there and march to Odogunyo Bus Stop by the market. You will see us there. Let me go.
All right. Quite explosive, I must say. 99.3 Nigeria Info. It is Relationship 360 by Tolimide, pouring out all his experiences and, of course, making you understand that you do have an option. You don't have to stay there and die there. Speak up. The phone lines officially open now. 0201-2770-993. That is for gentlemen. And for ladies, 0201-465-7190. Remember, when you call in, know that you have to be very, very straightforward. But somebody doesn't like rubbish.
You make me sound like one slave.
All right, so let's open this phone line. Let's go. Hello, that's 9.3. Hello. Yeah, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from my city.
All right, Naomi in Solimide is here to listen to you. Go ahead.
Hi, you are doing a good job. God bless you.
Amen.
Now,
Amen. Okay, she just called. Oh, thank you very much. And she didn't take time.
At all.
Less than 10 seconds. Thank you.
All right. Hello, 99.3. Hello. Hello, 99.3.
Hello, Barrister. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Mercy calling. Valentine, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Madam.
Barrister, I'm very hungry this morning.
Okay.
For what this woman have said that I don't have anywhere to go. You don't have anywhere to go and you have anywhere to go and marry and born children. Why women were like this? Barrister, I will tell you with my footsteps, I'm no less than 35 years. I cannot wait for anybody to give me one advice, even including a barrister. Kilawan so he is gone up. Women, it doesn't have your hand. It doesn't have the brain.
You know, Madam Mercy. At times, it is not as easy as you think. Some of these women had what?
4 years old baby.
4 months old.
4 years old baby. What are we saying?
Okay,
Women.
thank you.
Please. for yourself.
Now,
Barrister.
it is well.
Ah,
It is
barrister.
well. It is well.
Oh my God.
It is
All
well.
right, thank you.
Let us try not to victimize the victim. Let us not try not to re-victimize the victim. She left by herself. She went to report to the police. She was waiting for her mother-in-law, waiting that the mother-in-law at least will do something. And this is a woman that has been beaten and battered, having nowhere, an orphan. You understand? No job because the man will not allow her work. This is the problem. Let's go. Women will learn.
Let's answer
eventually.
calls from men. Hello, 99.3.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
What's the number? Where are you calling from?
Barrister, my name is Nkem from Bariga.
Madam Nkem.
So, all these stories that you have said here now sound so irritating. I don't know what they find inside the 4 years old baby, 3 years old baby.
4 month old. 4 month old.
Oh, 4 months. 4 months.
Yes.
I don't know what gave them attracted to the 4 month old baby. Like, I don't understand. But what do you enjoy there?
Yes.
Is that spiritual problem or what? Because
It's all around the world. You know, they are called pedophiles. They are people who take children.
All these stories are real. So the one the side I'm talking about is the side of those men that their wives be maltreating and they keep silent. Those people, the people around them, they should just be advising them. Anytime somebody comes to you and be telling you something, you don't have to laugh at the person. Just instead give the person the way, make the person
there's so much emotion here.
Instead of you.
The emotion is
Because
covering
some of
what
them,
you are saying.
they cannot.
Thank you very much. Sorry. The emotion is covering what you are saying.
Yeah.
Put yourself together so we can hear you. Thank you.
All right, more callers coming through. Hello, 97.3.
Good afternoon. Good morning. This is Kole.
Good morning, Kole. From Papa. Go ahead. Barrister is listening to you.
Well, I want to ask Barrister, does it mean our justice system also give this credence, as in giving power more to all these judges? But despite the evidence, the man he was later released with 1 million naira. Is the 1 million naira going to their pocket? I want to know. So I don't understand.
It's bail. So now, this is the way it is done. The magistrate court is too low. It cannot prosecute a case that it has a felony that is life imprisonment. So the case has to be taken to a higher court. But to start any criminal case, it starts at the magistrate court. Now, the director of public prosecutions will now be the one to issue an order to the judges to transfer the case to a high court. So while they are waiting for the order, it is their discretion either to release on bail pending when the order comes, or to remand in prison. For this,
they said he was released within 2 hours now.
Yes, now he was released, which is wrong. Which is absolutely wrong. So what I'm trying to tell you is that there is a process. It's not as if they are released. They will be taken again. They will come back to court, and this time transferred to the high court, where they will not be granted bail. But the issue we have is that while they are out on bail, anything can happen, especially when they are living in the same house with the people. And that is why we are telling the judiciary that you can't do this.
That is the reason why you should have still remained there.
Yes.
Okay, if not for your help now, where would your man go again? Go back to the house. It's very risky now.
Well, thank you.
That's why I'm saying, why not?
Well, hopefully the judiciary are listening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, next caller. Thank you so much. Always make it very short and brief. You know, we have a lot of callers around the world, and everyone deserves a chance. Hello, 97.3. Good morning. Good morning. What's the name and where are you calling from?
Good morning, Barrister.
Yes, Pastor Ladipo. Good morning, sir.
Barrister.
Yes, sir.
Some people need a lot of mental evaluation. Seriously. And it is high time we come to this reality in our society that there are a lot of people
who are suffering from mental breakdown. Because when you are hearing this story now, it looks glory. One more. And that guy now is released on bail. And the guy is an endangered species around. What about if he alone?
Yeah, there's a shorty who must.
Barrister,
I know, but it's not even the eloping that is the issue. It's the harming the victim.
Yes.
That is the most worrisome. That they now go after the victim.
I think people should be subjected to mental health tests continuously.
Thank you, Pastor Ladipo. Thank you, Pastor Ladipo. Thank you, sir.
All right. Interesting. More callers coming through before we jump to. And by the way, in case you don't know, this is our WhatsApp line 0809 597 5805. Again, for the WhatsApp lines, for those of you who are too shy and don't want to hear your voice, you can drop a message here. I'll read it out 0809 597 5805. That is the studio WhatsApp line. Drop a message there so that we can also have your opinion. Hello, nice number, please. Hello.
Hello.
Yes,
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm so moved by the topic on the ground. This is Mr. Chibuzo.
Okay, Mr.
From
Chibuzo.
Okeru.
Mr. Barrister is here to answer you. I said, Barrister, look at the accent.
Go ahead.
Thank you for your efforts on all what I had this morning. It was not easy. Especially look at the situation at the police station where they were trying to coerce you to reduce the charges, which is wrong. How do you expect somebody to change when you are supporting that person indirectly? Eh? That is Nigeria for you. Apart from that, the man in question, I better tell anyone listening that man is a ritualist. That is the truth of the matter. It's a ritualist because there is no attraction. Let's be sincere. No, this is Africa. This is Nigeria. You know we have ritualism.
Yes, I know.
We are aware of that.
But you see, there are also people called pedophiles. There are also people called pedophiles.
That is not for Nigeria. It's for Ojibo. That is for foreign Ojibo. It's not for Nigeria. Our own, they are ritualists.
Our own ritualists. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Sir.
Thank you. Now we give you the strength. Support that woman, please.
Thank you very much. He wanted me to act. Now ritualist. No be pedo. Now ritualist.
Anyways, and funny enough, the term ritualist, dictionary, they give it a different meaning though. But let's see. Hello, 973.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Barrister, my name is Dom. Onyeka Valentine, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Barrister, please let me say on the judiciary that one of your callers just raised now. To be honest with you, I must commend what you're doing. You're doing a fantastic job. I don't think you have the grace for it, but then God continue to strengthen you.
Amen.
Please, be your searchlight on the judiciary. Please, that is your constituency.
No, I'm a lawyer. The judiciary. Anyway, I'm very
Barrister, we are not talking about magistrate court, high court, court of jurisdiction, or court of competent wisdom. What we are talking about is dispensing of justice. I've seen people, you have said here repeatedly that you fight for your child for 2 years. Hire 3 lawyers, dispense on your own, ended the case on your own. Imagine a 100,000 naira salary earner. I have a lady, she's in first start now, she's listening to me. She has been in court since 2019 for divorce. Since 2019, 2 lawyers. Wow. She has spent 350,000 naira. There are people that cannot go. That's what don't
what? Well, I agree. You see, sir, I agree with you. I agree with you. I would not even sugarcoat. I agree with you that we need. It's 2019. Maybe the magistrate. Maybe the judge is late and another judge came to take over.
Barrister, there's family court in US. There's divorce court in US. Only one thing. They give a jurisdiction because you must go with your document. What judge give it?
All right, we have to let you because of time. You sound like a very smart guy, but we appreciate you. He's a smart fellow, but because of time. You want to respond to the before jump into that?
Let's go.
Okay. Because we have about a minute and a half.
Yeah, let's pick up one more call.
Hello, 99.3. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Bless. I'm calling from Maja.
Bless.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Yeah, well done, sir.
Well done.
Yeah, it's too much. Everybody knows what to do. You find out what somebody you are working with or in a relationship with, give you what you want. You know what you do now.
Thank you. He just called me. I think it's really upset.
Because when people say you know what to do, I don't want to. I want to be objective. But what exactly are you saying?
Not saying you should.
Let's be sure. All right, more callers coming to, but we don't have that time. We'll come back after that, right? That's I want to respond to one of them. Okay, let's just quickly look at the WhatsApp lines and then jump. This one here says, okay, very quickly says, good morning, barrister. I want this one's not for you. Let me do that one. It says, good morning, barrister Olumide. I want to know how can any main person typo error? Just type it. Don't even look at what the text typer said.
How can what?
It wasn't even clear. I think he was trying to type Chinese here. This one here says, good morning, sir. Please, sir, I am interested in the land that barrister spoke about, please.
Yes, in the company, it's Brit Properties. Yes. So let's BRIT, Brit Properties. You can Google and reach out to them.
All right, we'll come back after this break and talk more about it. All right, right back. Next 9.3 Nigerian for the moment.
We hear you. Yo, Maggie.
Nigerian info. Let's make it happen. Before we went on that quick advert break, Barrister Olumide, wow. The calls coming through and the WhatsApp, everything kind of spells out exactly what I was thinking. This is our Nigeria. What is going on?
Well, it's systemic. When we refuse to react, everything starts rotting. Yeah, this is us refusing to react.
Okay, speaking about reaction, let us react to our WhatsApp messages. This one here says, good morning, sir. We should continue encouraging our women to become self-employed and financially dependent. Many of those experiencing abuse are not economically empowered. If a large percentage of these women had something meaningful and sustainable doing, the rate of abuse would significantly reduce.
A lot of women who are empowered are also going through domestic violence. In fact, some millionaires are going through domestic violence but choose to remain due to reasons more than money. Some tradition, some religion, you will be surprised, are professors in abusive marriages. So,
okay, let's read one more before we jump back to the phone calls. This one here says, good morning, barrister. Good morning, Valentine. Thank you for all you do. Who are the people in authority in our states who can charge this outdated? Okay, means to change. You say charge. Change this outdated law. What our house? The way people type here, it just makes me laugh. It says, what our House of Assembly members? Anyways, he meant House of Assembly. That's fine. So I leave that one. Please, if you want to send messages, make sure you know what you're typing, so that way I don't read out wrong grammar on air. People. This one here says, this one just says hi.
People speechless.
Speechless. That's part of it.
Okay.
Another one here says, good morning, Barrister Olumide. I think, talking about Ijedo supermarket.
Jendol supermarket. Yes, we are going to look at Jendol supermarket. Yes.
Odogoyo.
Odogoyo. Don't kill this. Odogoyo. Just let me read it.
Okay,
Odogoyo at Jendol supermarket. That is where we should gather and walk down Odogoyo.
Okay.
Odogoyo.
Another sent a message correcting you. He says, Jandol.
Yes, it's Jandol. Unfortunately, we had to please forgive that.
Okay, so let's answer phone calls.
Yes.
Hello, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where you calling us? Where you calling from?
Yeah, Tony is my name.
Okay, Tony. From Ikeja. Right, go ahead. Barrister Olumide is here.
It sounds so awful, when a woman or female says she doesn't have a place to go, knowing fully well that where she is presently is not conducive for her. As a matter of fact, that statement is so helpless. And I will appeal to our parents and their relations. They should walk, deep into their female, into their women. A woman marries does not mean that that's the end of such person in her relation. You understand? A woman marries and gets herself not in a good place, can be reabsorbed or reintegrated back to the family. But here in Africa or Nigeria, when a woman marries, we see such person as a sellout. And that gives them that kind of inferiority mind that they don't have that to go again, even if they're in danger.
Thank you, sir.
Please, I will appeal that we should take care of our women. It sounds so bad when a woman says, I don't have a place to go. I mean, she's a human being. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Two things there. Families return there. There was a case we did that the father of the child, the following morning, took the child back to her husband's house. And then there are some cases where the family was not in support of the marriage in the first place. So it is difficult to go back to the family that told you not to marry this person to now say, you guys were right. And they'll say, no, go back. So those are we have to rise above some things and know that the life is good. We rather she die there to prove that we were right in telling you not to marry. We rise above that. Take your child back. In fact, go and pack. I will be, God forbid, sir, but you know.
More calls coming through. Hello, 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Tobechuku. I'm calling from Bojo-Leba.
All right, Tobechuku, go ahead.
Yes. Don't allow me to call you that time. But sir, I really appreciate the job you are doing. And again, that assistant commissioner of police, that woman.
Yes.
These are the kind of people we need our police force. Because you know why? There are some cases of rape. Because if the woman reports to the police station, you see some police officer will say, blaming the woman that.
Yes, waiting you find go there. Why waiting yourself? Where did you go?
Because those are the kind of, because we don't need those kind of people. And again, some of these police officers needs to be studied because some of them won't engage in all these acts. Maybe that is why they are covering up for this kind of thing.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
More callers coming through. Let's see. Hello, 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Yeah, sir, morning.
Good morning. Good morning. What's your name?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much.
Oh, we thank God, sir.
The judiciary.
We didn't get your name.
They need to sit up. This is Chris.
Oh, Chris. I know Chris very well. Oh, sorry, Chris.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Please.
Thank you very much.
30 seconds.
The judiciary, they need to sit up. Enough is enough. How can such kind of man, within 2 hours, you release the man? That court that knows you don't have the jurisdiction, or how do they put that grammar to handle it? Immediately you refer them to where they're supposed to go.
You remand these kind of people first. Yes, you remand them first.
You call yourself evangelist, 4 months old baby. What type of ritualist? What type of power are you looking for? And that mother too, I think that mother should be dealt with too. That is the man's mother that tried to cover up this thing. When we take law into your hand, say no, it's wrong. This type of evangelist should be. Oh my God!
Thank you very much.
I'm begging you. You need to sit up. You need to sit up. Enough is enough. Thank you, the Lord.
Yes.
Thanks, Chris. Wow. More calls. Hello, 99.3. give us a call back.
A lot of men are calling.
Yes, because I mean it's troublesome really, and then for another man to listen to this, you're like, what is wrong with some certain men? Obviously, you will not be shocked that men have to call and then. Hello, nice time for you.
Please reduce the volume of your radio, please.
So my own is that
your own is your name first. Let's get your name first.
That man is a beast, so even the mother they need to pursue the mother.
We didn't get your name. Madam, calm down. Tell us your name and where you're coming from.
As a 4 months old baby, what is that child know? What is he enjoying there? This one is a more abomination.
Incest. It is called incest. Defilement again.
Yes, she couldn't hold herself. I mean, the story is quite touching. So anyone obviously would act this way. So don't mind when I say your name first. Just that we can track and make sure that we follow us and follow you well. All right. Hello, nice time for Nigeria.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Ola from Igodo.
Mr. Ola, my congratulations,
yes,
brother.
Yes, sir. How are you doing?